Hey gamers, I am CyberSnack7. Hope we're all well, guys. It's great to be back. I have missed this so much. Obviously, a lot of you know over the past month, I've had a pretty tough one due to the passing of my dad. So, obviously, my head and my priorities have been with the family over the past, realistically, 2 to 3 weeks. So, a lot hasn't been done. I haven't really concentrated on much in games, buying stuff. I have been to Manchester, which I will talk about shortly. But as I say, it's a case of just trying to get my head around things, and it's kind of just getting the grieving done and moving forward now more than anything. But I'll miss him. He's always there, bless him. But I just want to say before I start off and get back into this YouTube shenanigans, what I love so much, I just want to basically thank every single person who supported me, whether it be through commenting, texting me, personally talking to me, and helping me through this past month. It's been an absolutely immense honour for you to even just consider doing what you've done and helping me through this month. It's been a massive help. Absolutely massive help, and I don't think I'd have done it without you guys, to be honest with you. I had my family, but it's good to know I've got friends, and I've met a damn good few over the last couple of years, and it just goes to show, this YouTube thing has its benefits. Seriously, has its benefits, and I've met some fantastic people. You know exactly who you are, and I really hope in the coming future I'm going to meet a hell of a lot more of you. But a personal thank you to every single one of you for supporting me through this month, and just for keeping me on the rails, to be honest, because it's been difficult, I have to admit. But I've been trying to pick my moment when to do a video, and I felt today was the day. So without further ado, guys, I think we should just continue as normal and crack on and get this channel resumed. So first, let's talk about Play Manchester. Now, I did manage to go, and obviously I travelled down with my good friend Stu to UK, down to Sheffield, and then we met up with my good friend Cojones Deloro and Shock 16. Hope you guys are well. And then we all travelled from Sheffield, went straight down then to Manchester. Usually, I'm the type of person, I'm usually probably about third in the queue. But that's usually me going on the train straight to Manchester and catching a bus. So I'm there at the crack of dawn before anybody's there, to be honest. But we chose to go the different the different route with Daz. But we did stop off because we was quite hungry, so we had some Mackie D's. And then headed off straight to the place where the event was being held. I can't think what it's called now. Event City, that's right, Event City. We got there and the queue was blooming humongous, as per usual. So we were stuck right at the back, to be totally honest. But Stu being Stu, bless him, he didn't mess about, and he just went along the crowd and found, I think his name was Old School Gamer or something like that. I can't think. Amiga Old School, I think. Good chap. Met him a couple of times at the last couple of events we've been to Manchester. So we jumped the queue to get in with that guy, and then Stu weren't happy enough, so we found Lee, Retro Chef, and he was about 10 people away from the front, so we all jumped the queue again. And to be honest, it was a bit evil to do it, but I was glad in a sense, because I was glad we was at the front. Perks of this YouTube community, I say. There's got to be any. But as I say, we jumped in with Lee and his brother. First time I'd met Lee, fantastic guy, really, really top bloke. Looking forward to seeing him again, mate. No doubt you're going to be down Play Nation in November, hopefully. Going to be a few of us going down there again. But that is in the future. We'll talk about that later. But as I say, bumped into Lee, great guy. Really pleased to meet him. And his brother. Apologies, I can't remember your brother's name, mate. But still fantastic guy. You dragged him along all day long, and he stuck with you, bless him. But as I say, he was in the queue. But previously to that, Craig's here again decided to appear from the second queue, which was remarkably smaller. Obviously because he was queuing up to get tickets on the day, and he was with his lovely wife Jane. Now, as we're talking about Craig and Jane, I'm not the first person to get one of these, but I've got a nice Splatterhouse mug with my old name on it, Jay's mug. Because she asked me what kind of game, you know, my favourite arcade games was, and I said, well, Splatterhouse. I've always loved Splatterhouse in one shape or another, whatever system it's on. So she done me a nice Splatterhouse mug, and I thank you very much for that, from both of you. And it's a bloody good cup of tea out of this, I've got to say that. But you guys, big massive thanks to you, because you know exactly what I mean. Texting me and you know, keeping in touch with me and that, being a massive help. But love the mug, fantastic. Going to be drinking out of it until the thing falls apart, no two ways about it. But as I say, met up with Craig, had a good chat with Craig and his wife, fantastic people. And then obviously then we jumped the queue, got in with Lee. And then we got in there, and as per usual, to be honest, it's usually me. I'm heading for the stall straight away. And I want the best of the best, but for some reason my head weren't really with it, which is plainly obvious. And Daz just beat me to the punch. Straight to Console Passion, and he don't mess around. He got some quality titles out of there, to be honest. Especially the one Sega Saturn game, which is quite a little rare one, and he got it for a brilliant price, to be honest with you. But as I say, I looked around a majority of the day, and I'm going to say I didn't buy a bloody thing. Now that is kind of weird for me. Well, I actually did buy something, which you probably can see on the top of my head, which is this. You know what I'm like. I go to an event and I have to either buy a cap before or buy one when I'm there, or usually both. Buy one and then buy one when I'm there. But I did buy one when I'm there, but the one I bought, it really looked nice when I bought it, but when I actually got it, it was pretty shitty made. But I'll show you that one. Now originally I was going to wear this one, which is like, see, you got all the coloured Nintendo controllers all the way around it, and I thought this is a pretty funky hat, and I kind of liked it. But the material on the top, as you can see, is very, very flimsy, and it's nothing like this. Built solid, you know, it's going to stay in shape. Now if I stuck this on my head, I look a total idiot, and the top just don't stay up. So as soon as I got this, I thought, I'm never going to wear this ever again. So it's a nice little keepsake. So my purchase of the day was this, which is my Tidals hat. Now you can see underneath the brim, it's got the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. So this is a nifty cap, solid. You know, it fits my head bang on, because it's one of these ones, it ain't got the clip on. It's like, basically you've got to have the right size nut, and luckily it was the last one and it fitted me, so it was just meant for my head. But as I say, I didn't buy anything in terms of games. You know, I did see a couple of items that I probably would have bought, but they weren't on my radar. So, you know, realistically, I just went down there for the day, just to get my head back into the rhythm of things, and it just took me away from what has gone on over the past couple of weeks. And as I say, to hang around with a lot of great people, bump into a lot of great people. Seen obviously Richard Rich King Retro again, bless him. The Highlander, I shook his hand. Really should have spoke to him a lot more. Also Novabug. Next time I'm there at Blackpool, there's no two ways about that. So everybody who I met and I only shook your hand and said hello, apologies for that, because my head went 100% there on that day. I still enjoyed it, no two ways about it, but you know, it weren't quite there. So when we're at Blackpool, I guarantee we'll have a beer, we'll have a chat, and we will catch up seriously. But as I say, brilliant day. Really, really enjoyed the day. And I was quite tired on the way home. I think I was well falling asleep in Daz's car on the way back. But you know, it was a pretty good day. And so the venues was made a whole lot bigger, but I think, as most people have said, the venue was spread out a lot more across the hall, because the previous year it was compact into one side and you had a lot of it empty. But they did put a lot of modern gaming out on the back side, a lot of PS4s, and I'm assuming Xbox Ones. I didn't even go over to that side. I stayed well away from it, weirdly. But they concentrated all the retro stalls, which I did think there wasn't enough of still, in the main centre hub of the hall. But the way it was set out, you got easily lost. You lost your bearings on where you wanted to go. So if you needed to go to the bar, you needed to go to the toilet, it was a right trek. And when you'd been one way, you'd lose your way to get back to the bar and things like that. So, but as I say, you know, went there, enjoyed it, loved it. Looking forward to Blackpool, really. It's going to be a massive 3-day event, and I'm going to be there. Looks like there's going to be issues with the hotels, because I know the Norbrick Castle's totally sold out already. So it's going to be fun trying to find somewhere to stay. So, you know, that's going to have to be sorted out one way or another. But anyway, talking about Manchester, walking around, and I bumped into, obviously, Craig from Games You Loved, and he gave me a nice t-shirt, so thank you very much for that. But he just didn't give me that. He gave me a couple of freebies, so I've got to show these, obviously. You know, they're all loose carts, but you know, a game's a game at the end of the day, and it's nice to get something and get recognised and get appreciated. So thanks again to Craig and his team at the old Games You Love. Thank you very much, sir. But he gave me 3 loose carts. Now, 2 are Famicom and 1's a Super Famicom game. Now, the first one is Dragon Ball Z2. Now, I didn't think I had this, but believe it or not, I've got it already. So I've got 2 copies of that now. So it makes no difference. Still nice to have. And then the second one was a game that I didn't have and I really did once, and that was Goonies. So I'm very happy to have Goonies. So I'm going to indulge in that and play that shortly. And then the third one was a Super Famicom game, which was Star Fox. So I've actually played this and and went through it a couple of days ago, just to nostalgia, basically. But it's a nice little cart. Got to say thank you very much for that, guys. Unexpected, but very appreciated. No two ways about it. But I did get one more thing there, and it's for a little passionate of a computer I've got, which I never rarely talk about, and I might think about showing you what games I've got for it. But I went over to Retro Collect, and you know, they got the free table with all the games on and such. I found a Commodore 64 game, and I wanted to give this a go for a long time, even when I first saw this game. But it's a mega old game, and it is Nosferatu for the Commodore 64. So this is another little title I've added to my Commodore 64 collection. As I say, it's a system and a computer that I've never really talked about. But I've got a fair few games for it, and a disk drive with it and everything. So it's something in the future we'll talk about. But apart from that, guys, that is it for me in terms of pickups or gifts from Manchester. As I say, I didn't really buy nothing, but there's something coming. Something big coming in the next few weeks. It's for a very personal collection that I've collected for a number of years, and I've yet to do the last video for it, which will be coming shortly. But look forward to seeing, put it this way, plenty of Super Nintendo titles. That's all I'm saying. Say no more than that. But concerning the Master System, that's had to go by the by, not purposely, but because I've got something big coming for the SNES. But listen, guys, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to say it's great to be back, guys. There's videos coming, and thanks again, guys, for your support. Absolutely unbelievable, you lot. But as per usual, guys, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, keep watching. All the best.